All sentient beings share the same wish. They want to be free from suffering. According to Buddhism, this liberation can be accelerated by meeting great bodhisattvas, beings who use their own liberation for helping others. This is why meeting great bodhisattvas is of the utmost importance. And the moments before the meeting are spent in a feeling of joyful expectation. Wherever he goes, whether in the east or in the west, hundreds and thousands of people gather to give him a warm welcome. His Holiness, the Karmapa, has been one of the highest Buddhist dignitaries of Himalayan Buddhist countries, as well as of China, for about 900 years.
We have to understand actually what is the purpose of life, what is the meaning of life.
People come to receive his blessings, his teachings and spiritual support. Just to catch a glimpse of him is considered auspicious. As the Buddha said in a famous teaching, seeing a great bodhisattva's face just for a moment will purify you from the negative karma of many lifetimes. So who is the Karmapa? The present Karmapa stands in a long row of outstanding lamas who reincarnate again and again in order to help others.
The function and the significance of Karmapa has always been to benefit all sentient beings through teaching and through developing and through spreading the lineage and the transmissions of Karma Kagyu. And it has been done throughout the incarnations of Karmapa.
The first Karmapa lived in Tibet in the 12th century. He was the first Lama who, prior to his death, described the circumstances of his rebirth. This is why, ever since, the Karmapas are known as the first reincarnated Bodhisattva Lamas of Tibet. They have, throughout all their reincarnations, been upholding and passing on the teachings of the Buddha. That is why this young monk is received everywhere with the utmost respect. Wherever he goes, he shares with the people the Buddha's uplifting message.
No matter who we are, whether we're human beings or any types of sentient being, the real fact that one sees from a Buddhist point of view is that we all have this very positive nature, and that is called the enlightened nature, or in Sanskrit it's called the bodhicitta. And it is due to this, we are able to achieve enlightenment.
The 17th Karmapa was born in Lhasa, Tibet in May 1983. His father, the Venerable Mipam Rinpoche, is a renowned teacher of the Nyingma tradition. His younger brother, Sonam Semo Rinpoche, is also a high reincarnate Lama of Tibetan Buddhism. His mother, Dechan Wangmo, dedicated herself to Buddhist practice from childhood. The young Karmapa, his name was then Tenzin Khyentse, spent the first part of his childhood in Tibet. During this time, on several occasions, he himself gave hints as to who he was. When the Karmapa was not even 1 year old, Dorje Khandro, a relative of the 16th Karmapa, visited us. She used to practice a lot in retreat. Upon seeing her, the Karmapa beamed all over his face. She asked him, "Who are you? What's the matter with you?" He answered, "I am the Karmapa." Hearing this, Dorje Khandro was moved to tears and prostrated to him. She said the 16th Karmapa had told her that they would certainly meet again. However, she had not met him before he passed away. Now she was old herself and had lost all her hopes of seeing the Karmapa again. She asked me to take good care of my son and to keep everything very clean. She said she was convinced that he is the Karmapa and that she was exceedingly happy. The next day she offered garments and many other things to the Karmapa. I was extremely surprised that my little child, who hadn't hitherto been able to speak, all of a sudden had spoken these words.
It's often said that a Karmapa reincarnation reveals himself through his own deeds and activities. Nevertheless, there are centuries-old traditional procedures designed to find the authentic reincarnation of his predecessor.
The Sharma Rinpoche, the Red Hat Lama of Tibet, Mipam Chökyi Lodra, is the 14th Shamarpa who, in accordance with the 900-year-old tradition of the lineage, recognized the reincarnation of the 17th Karmapa, Trinley Thaye Dorje, in 1994.
His Holiness, the late 16th Karmapa, Rangjung Rigpe Dorje, left Tibet in 1959.
He settled in Sikkim, India, where he established Ramtek Monastery as his main seat outside Tibet.
Later on, he travelled to East Asia, Europe and the United States, and was thus instrumental in making Tibetan Buddhism accessible worldwide. He was an outstanding Buddhist master who transmitted the sacred lineage of Buddhist practice to his students. Foremost among the 16th Karmapa's disciples is His Holiness the Shamarpa, traditionally second to the Karmapa in the Karma Kagyu tradition.
The Karmapa and the Shamarpa were the first reincarnated lamas in Tibet. While the second Karmapa manifested in the 13th century, the second Shamarpa did so in the 14th century. It was the fourth Karmapa who recognized the second Shamarpa. In turn, it was the second Shamarpa who recognized the fifth Karmapa. And in this way, the tradition of the Shamarpa and the Karmapa recognizing each other has started. Thus, the historical records of Tibet refer to the Karmapa and the Shamarpa respectively as the Black Hat Karmapa and the Red Hat Karmapa.
It was obvious then that the responsibility to ensure the identification of the 16th Karmapa's reincarnation would fall to the Shamarpa. So, in 1994, he officially recognized the young Karmapa as the 17th holder of the Black Crown and gave him the name Trinley Thaye Dorje.
I confirmed he is the genuine reincarnation of the late Kyawa Karmapa who passed away in 1981.
At the beginning of 1994, Tenzin Khyentse, the then 10-year-old boy who was to become known as the 17th Karmapa, left his mother country.
Shortly after his arrival in India, the Shamarpa performed the welcoming ceremony at the Karmapa International Buddhist Institute in New Delhi. During the ceremony, various traditional offerings were presented to the Karmapa. Now, hundreds of the disciples of the late 16th Karmapa, who passed away in 1981, had the joyful opportunity to meet the Karmapa again after 13 years of waiting. For the first time in his life, the young boy was now in Delhi, where he had no family or friends. Yet his composure, dignity and ease, blended with his warmth and affection, completely enthralled everyone. The world again had a Karmapa, the 17th holder of the Black Crown, Trinley Thaye Dorje.
The moment I was recognized as the Karmapa, I was entrusted with the great responsibility not merely to help a few individuals, but to commit myself to the welfare of all beings. This is my commitment as the Karmapa.
For some years, the 17th Karmapa stayed in New Delhi. With his official recognition, the time had come for the young Karmapa to intensify his studies and training, an important phase for the spiritual head of an ancient Buddhist tradition. The studies encompass a wide range of topics such as languages, Buddhist philosophy, and epistemology, as well as training in various meditation practices and rituals.
I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, then I perform my recitations. From 9 to 11 I study grammar and other topics. From 3 onwards I study the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. I take my dinner at 8 and I go to bed at 10.
Every evening, usually together with some other monks, the Karmapa performs a ritual of protection.
Buddhism means acting in such a way that benefit for others and for oneself arises. That's it, I think.
While staying in Delhi, the Karmapa studied with teachers such as Chobgye Rinpoche and Khenpo Chodrak Rinpoche, both close disciples and assistants of the 16th Karmapa.
Well, I'm just teaching him Tibetan grammar, which is a little bit complicated and which is very important.
Chobgye Rinpoche, a highly accomplished Buddhist scholar, had been the Vajra master of Tsopu Monastery, the 16th Karmapa seat in Tibet. In 1959, he accompanied his master to India. He kept his function at the Karmapa's new seat, Rumtek Monastery in Sikkim, India, until his marriage to a Bhutanese princess. At the 16th Karmapa's request, he became the General Secretary of the Karmapa's entire administration. Asked about the meaning of the Tibetan word tulku, that is to say, a reincarnate master, he says,
So tulku, I think, really means that you have a capability to come back for the others. Karmapa, I think, is one of them.
Khenpo Chodrak Rinpoche is a well-known Buddhist scholar. Under the supervision of the late Karmapa, he studied for more than 20 years with masters of various schools of Tibetan Buddhism. The 16th Karmapa appointed him the principal of the Institute for Higher Buddhist Studies at his main seat in India. For many years, he has been teaching Buddhism worldwide.
In general, it's completely impossible for us as ordinary beings to judge who is an enlightened bodhisattva. However, taking into consideration that he's only 11 years old, the way he behaves, understands and looks at things can definitely lead to the conclusion that he is a highly realized bodhisattva. In particular, I myself can definitely see certain patterns in his behavior which the previous Karmapa had. This is very, very obvious.
In 1997, the Karmapa moved to Kalimpong, a charming small town in the Himalayas close to Darjeeling. He lives on its outskirts in a house that the 16th Karmapa had visited on several occasions.
I moved to this quiet and pleasant place because it's very conducive to my studies.
In Kalimpong too, the Karmapa's daily agenda consists mainly of studies and meditation. Early in the morning, he does his meditation in his room.